Assalamu alaikum once more. This time we're going to discuss on Jesus Christ, peace and blessings be upon him. This topic comes intentionally based on his significant position in Islam. Also, the available, diverse and controversial understanding between Muslims and Christians as well as Jews and other people concerning his status. Muslim scholars claim to know him to the best since they study him in all the scriptures. In the Holy Quran, Jesus Christ is mentioned 25 times by name Isa. In addition to this, he is referred to multiple other times by titles and descriptions, such as Al-Masih, the Messiah, Ibn Maryam, son of Mary, Kalimatullah, word from God, and Ruhun minhu, a spirit from him. An entire chapter, Surah Maryam, chapter 19, is dedicated to his mother Mary, who is mentioned 34 times. Let me make this very clear. In Islamic rulings, impersonation of Jesus Christ is haram. Therefore, I'm not Jesus Christ and I don't appear exactly like him, nor do I stand in his stead. In theological and eschatological diversities, we discuss on his divinity, prophethood, crucifixion, and return. Let's now see Muslim and Christian scholarly perspectives on the divinity of Jesus Christ. Apart from Jews to whom he is neither divine, a messenger, or prophet, Muslims and Christians hold a critical difference. The question of the divinity of Jesus Christ stands at the very center of the theological diversity between Christianity and Islam. While both faiths deeply revere Jesus Christ, Masih Isa ibn Maryam in Arabic, they fundamentally differ on his nature and status. Christianity affirms him as divine, the incarnate Son of God, whereas Islam firmly maintains his messengership, prophethood, and humanity, rejecting any attribution of divinity to him. We explore the scholarly foundations of both perspectives, drawing from scriptural, theological, ideological, and historical interpretation. Christian scholars base the divinity primarily on the New Testament, early church creeds, and Christological theology developed in the first centuries of Christianity. Firstly, let's see biblical foundations. Christian theology holds that Jesus explicitly or implicitly claimed divinity and that his followers recognized him as such. Key New Testament passages often cited include the following. John 1:1 states, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." John 8:58 states, "Before Abraham was, I am." This is interpreted as an allusion to the divine name revealed to Moses. Again, John 10:30 is written, "I and the Father are one." Matthew 28:19 contains the Trinitarian baptismal formula. The scholars argue that Jesus forgave sins, accepted worship, and exercised divine authority. These actions were understood within Jewish monotheism as belonging solely to God. Secondly, we look at the Trinity doctrine. Christian orthodoxy, articulated at the Council of Nicaea in 325 CE and later councils, teaches that Jesus is fully divine and fully human, the second person of the Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Those scholars emphasize that this doctrine does not imply three gods, but one God in three persons. Thirdly, we turn toward the historical and theological reasoning. Christian scholars argue that the early disciples, many of whom were Jews committed to monotheism, would not have worshipped Jesus unless they were convinced of his divine identity. So, now let's see the Muslim scholarly perspective on the divinity of Jesus Christ. Islamic scholarship categorically rejects the divinity of Jesus, grounding its position in teachings of God and Prophet Muhammad. God honors Jesus as one of the greatest messengers, born miraculously to the Virgin Mary, but emphatically denies his divinity. For example, he says, "They have certainly disbelieved who say, God is the Messiah, son of Mary." Quran in 572. The Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary, was only a messenger of God, so do not say three. Quran 4:171. Quran 112 affirms absolute divine oneness, rejecting begetting or incarnation. As a messenger, he was empowered with miracles by God's permission, similar to other messengers like Moses. Jesus said, "I can do nothing on my own. As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is just, because I seek not my own will, but the will of him who sent me." For example, upon reviving Lazarus in John 11:38-41, Jesus began by asking help from God, then thanked him. Jesus began by asking for God's help, and then he thanked him. Moses brought to life a snake which didn't exist before, not just reviving. So, was he divine? Associating divinity with any created being constitutes shirk, associating partners with God, the gravest sin in Islam. The doctrine of Jesus' divinity developed over time and was influenced by Greco-Roman philosophy. Jesus frequently prayed to God, expressed human limitations, and distinguished himself from God, e.g., Mark 13:32 and John 17:3. Such verses are understood as evidence against divinity. Again, Quran, the final arbiter, rectifies wrong interpretations. Any person who doesn't accept it can't easily understand.